What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fish Lift Eat podcast. We're so glad you decided to come back and join us for another show. My name's Casey. I'll be driving the boat for us this evening, and joining me is the Fish Lift Eat crew. We got Papa and Justin. So, what's up, Papa?
Oh man, I can't tell you how excited I am to be back doing this second week in a row.
You got that right, man. A lot of fun. What about you, Justin? What's going on?
Man, I'm stoked. He said second week in a row. That's a streak, right? Does that count as a streak?
That's all it takes, man.
I like it. Yeah, no, super stoked, and I'm way excited tonight. So I got to bring an old friend on from my old podcast, which lasted about 10 minutes. But I got Bailey from Stonefly Outdoors on tonight. Hey, what up, Bailey?
What is up, everybody?
Good to have you, dude.
Glad to be here.
So I'm introducing these guys, Papa and Casey, here to your world, man. Our world, our weird world that we had going on kind of prior to all this.
That's an understatement.
So I think always the best way to kick it off, man, is we want to learn a little bit about you, man. So why don't you hit us kind of with, who you are, background, and where Stonefly Outdoors came from, where it's headed.
So Bailey Stone, nice to meet everybody. My quick synopsis is grew up Central North Carolina, enlisted in the military, did a short stint in the military, got out, dabbled out in the oil field for a while, and during that time, got 11 years the other day. During that time, I ended up in East Tennessee, and that's where I was introduced to fly fishing, and that was the deepest, darkest rabbit hole I've ever been down. So that's where it started, really. But I grew up in the outdoors. I've always been around hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, backcountry stuff. So it's always been a part of who I am.
Nice. You're over on the East Coast. Yes.
Yes, sir. Up in the mountains of North Carolina.
Finally, somebody over here that can understand me.
Right. And we sound normal to each other.
I know you sound perfectly normal, unlike these two guys up here on the top of my screen that I feel like I need a translator when I talk to them.
Dude, we're not that far off now. God damn.
Man, you get to Colorado, you lose all the twang, dude. It's gone.
Yeah, you disappeared.
Yeah, we're just talking straight cornbread and grits down here.
It has to be Old Mill, though. It has to be Old Mill.
Oh, that's the only ones.
So, Bailey, you're a big fly fisher. That's your thing in a tire, correct?
Yeah, that's literally my world. Is that? It's not a hobby for me. It's definitely, it's not even a lifestyle. It's an obsession. So.
Oh yeah.
That's what it becomes for everybody at some point. I know. Casey can attest. I know Papa can attest. Fishing gets you that way at some point, and I'm starting to feel fly tying gets you that way even more. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you got into tying, man?
COVID, honestly. COVID hit, and I was living off the government to get my unemployment like everybody else was. So yeah, there was nobody hiring, and me and my girlfriend at the time were going up to the mountains every weekend, camping and doing all that. And of course I was fly fishing as well. And I said, well, hell, I'm at home during the week. This is the perfect time to learn how to tie flies. So it's not some grandiose, like, oh, my grandfather did it. And that, nope, I wanted to learn how to do it. So that was in May of 21, 20 or 21 is when I got my fly tying stuff. So I've only been tying about 3 years, and now I do it professionally. So.
Well, mine's not necessarily professionally, but kind of along those lines. I got into like painting my own lures and stuff during COVID, and just, being stuck at the house, couldn't go anywhere. Actually, so February 2020, that's what I'd been looking at starting and dabbling into it. My wife actually bought me my first airbrush and the kit and all to get started with that. So that was, my way of being able to stay involved with fishing year round, even when, weather wasn't permitted or whatever. But
Yep.
I was out, during COVID and, the hurdles we had to jump through, that's when I started painting lures at that same time. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you got anything is it anything in particular fly wise that you're looking at that you tie a majority of, or, have you kind of broadened out, run the gambit, or?
Yeah, so I am definitely a nymph tire. That is what I'm known for. That's my bread and butter. I have a few patterns that are specifically mine. There's one that we have a big tournament coming up in 2 weeks at this point up here in the mountains, and we have a pattern that we're going to drop after the tournament that kind of came up with and refined, and we've been testing it out here and there, kind of for days when the fish aren't biting, and it has been wild. It's been producing, so I'm really, really happy with that. Then I have another Stonefly pattern that I'm really known for, and it's not anything super fancy, but that's my bread and butter. But yeah, I get a lot of requests for those. I'm a full custom tire, so I really don't have a lot of product on the shelf as far as flies that are tied. If you came to me, saw me on an Instagram post or, Facebook group, whatever it is, I'm like, hey, I can do it. What do you need? And what I like is that I can get that customer interaction where we can tweak the pattern for exactly what they want. So that's what I enjoy about it.
Yeah, it's super cool, man. He sent us out, me and Chad, our guy behind the scenes here, he sent us some Stoneflies early on. Can't remember, man, about a dozen of them, right? And they were beefy Stoneflies, man, ready to do some good stuff out here in Colorado.
The new version is not very different, but it's pretty different.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this next year.
You got 1.0. I'm at
1.0? All right, great.
I'm at 3.0 now.
I need an upgrade, man.
Right. So
hey, man. So on this tournament, is the reason that you're not releasing that fly or that pattern until after the tournament is because you're competing in the tournament?
Yeah, we don't want anyone else to know what it is.
I got you. That was obvious, but I was making sure that I didn't know if you were actually going to be participating in the tournament.
Yeah, no, I'm competing through Maggie Valley Fly Shop. So
I got you.
And yeah, that's the reason why. As soon as we drop it, or as soon as the tournament's done, it'll be available for purchase, in the fly shop, and I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to be bigger than I can keep up with, honestly.
Dude, I cannot think of a better way to drop a new product other than just go kick everybody's ass with it and then put it on the market for sale.
That's the hopes. We are kicking ass with it right now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it like a fall specific
You have to tune into the drop to find out, Papa.
You got to tune in.
You can't give away all the secrets.
No, it has enough.
You're trying to go enter this tournament or something,
right?
Nah,
right. He's got a notepad, so I'm not trying to get into the details. But what?
Just
clearly.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff lately. People are talking about stuff coming into the fall, so they're changing up, patterns and this and that and the other.
So it is definitely a pattern that can be used year round. We do have black stoneflies in the water up here. That's the closest of any information that I'm going to give. But
it's going to be neon orange,
right? Yep. And chartreuse. Yep. But yeah, you can use it year round. I'd say in the springtime, it'll probably lull just a little bit, but once they start moving around in May or so, it'll start kicking back up.
Hell yeah!
So
you said you took a job over at that fly shop. Which one is that?
Maggie Valley Fly Shop. So I'm actually contracting through them. I tie every day over there in the shop in person. So
Nice.
Yeah, if anyone wants to come and stalk me, let's just be friends first. Let's just go fishing.
Yeah.
His address, phone number, they'll be in the notes below on the show.
Right.
Dude, I need to come see you. That's really not that far of a trek for me.
No,
because we used to go up. I can remember as a kid growing up, we used to go to Maggie Valley all the time, up to Cataloochee and go snowboarding and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we're very close. So
Yeah,
Actually,
definitely can
the
make a
river,
day trip up there.
my favorite river in the state that everyone knows is that nobody fishes is right in between you and me.
Which river is that?
The wet one.
The wet one.
You trying to drop pins or nothing.
Nope.
I
We'll
wasn't,
talk about it when we're not recording.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a great journey, man. There has been ups and downs. There has been that frustration with learning how to tie flies, but there's definitely with fly tying, there's definitely an aha moment where it's like, oh, okay, that's what I've been doing wrong. And then once you take that understanding, then you have the confidence to try other patterns. Like, start with a pheasant tail. It's going to be ugly as sin. And then one day it's just like, boop, got it.
Hell yeah.
So
that's something we got into before, man, that I think would be cool right here, especially with Papa as well. As we talked a little bit about what would you give as far as advice for a starting kit or gear, whatever that someone wants to jump into if they were going to start tying flies. What would you recommend, man?
What I would do. Sorry, I just had one of my guides text me right now. So what I would do is there's 3 patterns I would start with: a woolly bugger, a pheasant tail nymph, and if you want to do dry flies, start with an elk hair caddis. I don't tie dry flies. It's not because I don't like tying them. It's because I'm not good at them. I could try it and get better. But I'm not good at them. And I'm to the point now where I'm so busy with nymphs anyways, but I digress. So what you want to do is, you can start off with like a Cabela's like clamp vise, and you can get going. I suggest everyone to get going with a clamp vise. Don't get a rotary to start off with. Rotary vices, you can spin them around. It just makes it a lot faster. Appreciate the bad before you go to the good, because clamp vices are not good. I don't like them. But anyways, the big thing is getting good thread, good materials. That will make your journey much easier. I'm a huge fan of Simperfly for all of my thread, all my materials. It costs a little bit, but you're going to have less thread breakage. And, I'm all about making people suffer to learn what they're trying to do. Like I said, oil field, I'm not going to teach you the easy way to do it first. Fly tying, I will, because I want everyone to enjoy this. Some people it can be therapeutic for them. For me, it is. And that's even when I'm cranking out a commercial order, it's still a therapeutic thing for me. So there's no sense in making people really suffer, because you're still even with top tier materials, you're still going to have a learning curve. So, but you can get going with the vise, the tools, everything you need, about $100.
That was going to be my next question, right?
Yep.
What's your entry level investment to get going, right?
Yep, about $100. I buy my pheasant tails for professionally tied, commercially tied pheasant tail nymphs. Dude, I go to Hobby Lobby. I can get 5 of them for like $6. 5 tails for $6.
Nice. I think that's craft stores, huh?
Yep. You
So
can
just for my curiosity, if you go pick up like that many tails or whatever at Hobby Lobby, how many flies does that roughly translate to?
For me, about probably 400 to 500.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, but
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
I don't know what number I was expecting, but it was not that.
Typically between 80 to 100 per tail.
Yeah, you're just using a couple of fibers per.
Mine are three to 4 fibers.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you can float the $6 pretty easy.
Oh yeah, you get your return very fast.
Yeah,
I get
crazy.
My ROI on the pheasant tails is, I pay $6 for this pheasant tail. I might not be able to. You should be saying this on there, but it's just for that encouragement of thinking, oh my God, this is expensive. My return of investment on 5 pheasant tails is 3 flies. It takes me 3 flies out of those 400 to 500 to make up my investment on this pheasant tail.
That's awesome.
So Yeah, and like the tail on this super secret nymph, I won't say exactly what feather it is from Hobby Lobby.
Can you name
It's
it?
super rare. It's actually a phoenix feather. So for everybody listening, when this drops, it's super limited edition. You can't find it anywhere except at Stonefly.
That's it. It's the only place you can get it.
So don't even look at the price tag. Just
buy it.
buy 100,
Yep.
and you're welcome.
Low price, 1,000 each. You know.
Oh yeah, give me 12.
I'm sitting there with a little bottle of bleach, just spraying like turkey feathers, like
shooting crows in his front yard just to get the feathers off of him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I found his secret.
my what I will say is don't get ahead of yourself. If you're starting off, do not get ahead of yourself. You're not going to be making money off the get-go, and I hate to say it, until you're to the point, I don't want it to sound any way of not being humble. I'm very humble for what I've achieved, but until you're to the point of where I'm at, you're not going to make money on flies. And that's, you're going to, yeah, you might save some money, but it's kind of a wash when you're learning, you know.
Well, here's my question though, man. Like,
Yeah,
what do you think the percentage of dudes that start tying, it's really just for their own purpose? I mean, it's probably a fair majority, right? They don't set out to actually turn it into a business, or what do you think about that?
I would say less than 5% of people that start end up tying commercially or professionally.
It's like if I ever tie, it's going to be just for myself. Yeah. Say I went soup to nuts and I went pure. You know what I mean?
I think 5% is being very liberal. I would push that down closer to probably 3 or 2%. And it's not good enough for it. It's just, you know, time restraints and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I think I kind of got into it, kind of fell out of it, this and that and the other. But my whole reason for doing it is for my purpose only. I'm not trying to be a commercial tire or anything like that. And
right,
from my experience on some things like that, something that I'm super passionate about. If I try to turn it into something that I can gain monetarily from, I wind up hating the shit out of it.
I went through that.
Kind of how music business went for me. So,
yep,
you know, I'm kind of leery of that.
Yep. I that happened to me recently. I got really discouraged because I'm just like, I want to tie all this other stuff, and I'm stuck tying 5 different patterns.
Yeah.
So I pushed through that though, and now we're back to okay. You know, this is what we got going on. It's going to be great.
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of bummed because, you know, we talked, it was probably April or May, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to get started. So was Chad. Chad, jump on real quick. You there? You paying attention back there?
Sure. Podcast Jesus.
That's the man behind the curtain. You didn't start tying yet, did you, Chad?
I've got the stuff. That's about as far as I made it.
Damn it, we sucked.
I kind of dropped the ball on that too. You know, I was getting everything prepped through Joe Outdoors and through Stonefly in its infancy, and you know, I am actually, now that I'm getting settled in, gonna really start doing the videos that we talked about.
Nice, yeah. I was just checking to make sure Chad didn't start before I did, because then I'd really feel bad.
No, we're good.
Just for everybody at home, Chad's our producer guy behind the scenes here, so we like to sneak him in, make sure he's paying attention back there every once in a while, right, guys?
Yeah.
Chad's the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz.
or we just want to give Chad the credit he's due.
Yeah,
checking in on him.
Probably really more what it is, man. Because when this all comes out, he'll have a fair share in how that got there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sucking up so he makes me look good.
There you go. Well, there's only so much you can do with the camera, man.
Yeah. Just post somebody else's face on me, Chad.
Just wear a green screen. Wear a green screen, man.
Y'all just gonna see a full green screen next time. And I'm just gonna let Chad have a heyday with it.
Yeah, we'll have Ryan Gosling here or something.
Just give him Papa's beard or something. Make it look cool.
You go.
All right, so we
give me
know
Papa's beard and Garrett Carver's mustache.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Garrett.
So Bailey, we know you like fly fishing, man, but you got a little bit of a bass fishing background. So, you know, I think you should chat about that because, you know, Casey here, he seems to know what he's
throw me a bone. Throw me a bone so I can contribute to the conversation.
That all kind of started. My grandfather was a very, very well-known bass fisherman growing up. If the thing with my grandfather is, people would ask, if he wasn't around, they say, well, where's he fishing, or where's he cooking barbecue? Like, that was it. It wasn't like, is he watching TV? No, where's he fishing? Where's he cooking barbecue?
Nice.
So that's what got me into it. Some of my best memories were on the lake that we grew up at. There was a school of white bass, and actually we call them Waccamaw. It's a white bass, but it's the only lake that we call them Waccamaws in. But we were just throwing a topwater popper, just throwing it out. I mean, he couldn't fish because we were catching them so fast. So, and he just had a huge smile on his face, and I've done a couple tournaments and spent way too much money that I care to ever admit, because I might have some people that I was dating at the time that I told I won the rods. I found it on the back of the truck. I don't know.
Casey's in that boat. Casey's in that boat tonight. Pre-call. I learned where Casey was at on some money.
So last night, Bailey, I was on a very deep rabbit hole on glide baits. And if you know anything about bass fishing, you kind of know where glide baits can lead you. So
yeah,
there's in the next 3 to 5 days, there's a certain number of packages that are going to be delivered.
Wait. The question is, are they Japanese glide baits? Because if you answer that, then.
Well, for the Japanese question, I'm going to answer it very American and say I plead the fifth on that.
Well, it was great having this one podcast with you. I mean,
that's what it's. No, baby, it's just all. I had Bass Pro points. It's fine.
My one question to Casey was, are you sleeping on the couch or are you sleeping in your own bed? And he said, well, the packages haven't arrived yet. So
yeah, I got a couple days to pad the landing for that one. But it's not like the boxes of glide baits that are coming. I ain't worried about that, because she don't know the difference between a $2.99 crankbait from Walmart and a $500 glide bait. But it's when these like swim bait rods start showing up.
Yeah,
I mean those are going to be a little harder to explain.
Well, that's like I've dropped fly fishing. I will say, for rods and stuff like that, in my experience, top tier bass rods and reels are very expensive, but for fly fishing, it's nothing to drop $1,800 on a combo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
In fly fishing, it's an outfit.
an outfit. Man.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Outfits and indicators. You call it a bobber.
Bobbers.
It's a bobber. But yeah, it gets expensive very quickly. There was a reel that I had to have for this tournament.
That's how it
Of
goes.
course.
$322 later, I'm like, well, make it work. So
That's a solid. That's a solid question right there. What's the most expensive piece of kit gear that you guys own? Everybody around the horn. Casey, boat don't count.
The answer that I publicly share, or what I actually paid for it.
I'll let you choose.
What are you talking about, tackle specific?
let's do, whatever.
Most expensive piece.
I got a $500 rod. Here's the thing, though. I don't splurge when it comes to tackle, like rods and reels and stuff like that, because I know how rough I am on my stuff, right? So, I deal with a shop that's semi-local to here that does over-the-counter warranties and stuff, and so that's the brand that I fish, because it's high quality, it's good stuff, but I can show up with it in 3 pieces and leave with a new one. So there's definitely rods that I can spend a lot more on, but I don't. Then outside of that, it'd probably be my boat electronics.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got Live Scope. I've got the Gen 4 hummingbird side imaging, and then another one on the front for down imaging and things like that. So, I mean, I've got a little chunk of change just in electronics on the boat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you're fishing professionally, right? So, like, I can see that.
Yeah, that's a stretch. One day, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Ish. All right,
I
Papa.
think-
How about you,
Yeah,
Papa?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Pablo.
I got I think it was $400 in an outfit. I don't have anything that's crazy expensive. I don't make a whole hell of a lot of money either, so it's hard to do it. But
I don't think anybody here does. So,
but
Where did outfit come from? I can't make sense of that. I mean, I get combo and all this other stuff, but what's an
fly
outfit?
fishing? It's fly fishing. It doesn't make sense. Just
yeah, it's just like the indicator thing, like all that stuff. It's just specific to the
it's
sport.
just,
And
it's just their way of being different from spin fishing.
is there a way to make the charge?
But basically, what you're calling an outfit is essentially a rod and reel.
It's a rod and reel combo, is exactly.
So like what we would call a combo.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
to that, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've got probably close to $1,000 in a combo that I have between the DC reel and the rod and all that. But no, I was confused on one.
It's just all that.
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
Nah,
Carry on.
all that stuff kind of funny because you also have they call rod and reel, what you're calling rod and reel, conventional tackle, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to and you have fly fishing, fly rod, fly reel, whatever outfit, and this, that, and the other. On like, if you go back in essence, wouldn't you think something that you called conventional would be something that kind of came, before? So it's just
it's all backwards.
Yeah.
Well, I call spinning rods fairy wands, if that's relatable.
So my most expensive, I bought, it was $1,800 for everything, rod and reel. Yeah, it was a Scott Centric with a Able reel, custom Able, of course. I can't just have normal. Every one of my rods that I use typically runs about 700. So all the ones that I have right now, except for this one is actually North Fork Composites. It actually was Gary Loomis. That's his new company. So, because Gary Loomis doesn't own Loomis rods anymore.
He's got that in Edge, right?
Yep.
Edge
He owns
rods,
North Fork Composites. It was actually for me, it was a pretty budget build, about $400 for the rod. So I was happy with that. But like, I just got a urine nymphing rod, just got built, and it was, I think, $725. But I mean, with fly fishing, especially, there are times that cost doesn't equate how it feels on the river. There are companies that are better at doing something and they shouldn't be doing another thing. Like Winston is the best dry fly rod, in my opinion, that you can buy. You're on nymphing, don't buy a Winston.
Right.
Winston, if you see it, you can send me a free rod to try to prove me wrong. But
You can send me one too, and I'll start fly fishing.
there you go. But same thing with Thomas and Thomas. Their Contact 2 is an exceptional urine nymphing rod. Their dry fly, not a fan. And then Orvis, just an all-around great rod. Sage is the same way. They have very, very, very good rods. So it's all one of those things. It becomes a personal preference kind of thing. Like my favorite rod is actually from New Zealand, CTS. They are, I think, the best rods in the world.
Nice.
My urine nymphing rod is from Diamondback up in Vermont. And that's, I think that's the best urine nymphing rod. Then you have Hardy from England. They make exceptional rods as well. And it becomes a preference thing very quickly. When I did a lot of tournament, or when I did a lot of the bass fishing, I was a big, like the SLX DC. I enjoyed that more than the Murano. And I loved St. Croix for a long time until they had some QC issues and you snap every rod you throw. And then I made the switch to Fenwick, and I like Fenwick now. So it's a very cyclical thing.
Yeah. Oh, we could go down all day for rods and reels on the fly fishing side, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys
I
think?
think rods and reels in general, just because it's
All
you're gonna go back to what you had good luck with, right?
Yeah.
Like I've got a handful of St. Croix rods, like he's talking about, and I've had great luck with them. I
Yeah.
mean, I rely on them a lot just because the shop down the road here, they do over the counter warranty for St. Croix, so
Right.
it's a convenience factor too. But then they are, they're good. I like them on like my finesse techniques and crankbait rods and stuff like that, where I need more sensitivity because, kind of the running thing in the industry is you'll have like we classify rods as, medium heavy, extra heavy, things like that.
Yeah.
So you'll hear jokes about like, well, this rod's heavy, but then there's a St. Croix heavy, right?
Yep.
Generally St. Croix is kind of known for being on the lighter end of the spectrum for their power ratings, which can really work out for you in a lot of things. And I've had good luck with them in the finesse techniques when I've needed more, more rod give and things like that. But then, I've got Dobbins rods that I throw for certain techniques. I've got some 13 fishing rods that I throw for certain techniques. It's there's definitely a place where you can find stuff that you're comfortable with, and then you get set in stone with that, and that's how you want to be, and that's the stuff you rely on week in and week out. But then, the stuff that I love, there's plenty of people you can get on any fishing forum you want, and people just bashing the crap out of it. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, your opinion is going to be based on what you've experienced on the water.
My opinion's based on did I catch a fish or not.
Yeah, it's all the rod. It's always the rod and the reel.
Always rod, man.
No. It's about looking good on the water. That's what
Look good, look good, play good.
I'll tell you that everyone is, so all of my rods they're all custom built. That's just, I get to pick and choose the rod built, and that's what I like to do. So every rod has a matching reel. Could I use 2 reels or 1 reel for 3 different rods right now? Oh yeah. Do I want to? Nope. It's just
the same way.
Like this reel seat on this NFC has a little bit of yellow in it, has a little bit of black, and I said, cool. I'm going to get a black Sage Spectrum C and throw it with this exact line because it has that color in it.
I'm bad to do that. I do that with braid too, like on my spinning rods and stuff. If I'm doing like braid to leader, whatever color goes with the accent writing on the rod or the reel or whatever. Yep, you'll see the yellow braid or the orange braid or the blue braid.
Look good, play good, right?
That's right. If I feel good about it, I'm gonna catch all the fish.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, confidence comes from many different facets.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, but yeah, that's that's the thing that I will admit about fly fishing. It can be very expensive. Once you will outgrow rod and reel, and you will need to upgrade, because what will be holding you back is that outfit that you have. They're
that good $100 outfit I had. Is that what you're trying to say?
I haven't fished with you. I don't know what your skill is, so I'm not going to say that, Justin. But
well, you look at my Instagram. There hasn't been very many fish up there. So,
if y'all could ever not have Noah's flood and get out on the water,
yeah, no doubt, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's old rods. There's St. Croix Mojo trout that you can get for $85, and they were $400, a few years ago. And you get an exceptional rod to make that step up. You just got to put in that time to kind of research, find a copy of a fly fishing magazine from 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Whatever the hottest rod then, now is like $200.
Yeah.
It was $1,000 8 years ago.
Hey, for what it's worth to our listeners, the Mojo Bass stuff is the same way.
Yeah.
Like I have Mojo Bass rods that I paid a lot more for than, like, one of the swim bait rods that I've got on the way right now is a Mojo, and it's kind of disgusting at how much I paid for that rod compared to what I paid for smaller Mojo rods.
Yeah. And especially the older Mojo Bass. The Mojo Bass from 5 years ago.
It's crazy.
That thing was.
It's a good rod.
It's still a good rod, but that one back when. I don't know what they changed, but those old ones were stupid good.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing they changed on these new ones is that new Trigicon or whatever. Not Trigicon.
Damn, they're putting
Okay.
they got a Picatinny rail on those
Well,
things.
well, it's Trigger something. It's a triangle grip.
Flat
Like no
fishing.
joke. I picked one up just because I wanted to try it, but it's oh hell, I'm gonna have to look it up now. It's gonna piss me off. But it's Trigger something. Y'all carry on. I'll look it up.
Get Chad on it. Hey, Chad.
Yeah, find out what word in the English language am I trying to use?
It's the Trigon grip.
Trigon. Yeah, see, I was close. Come on. Yeah. No, I just picked one of those up in a spinning rod. And it's pretty cool. That's kind of the biggest change, really, of any of the St. Croix rods that I've seen them do lately.
That looks fancy.
What was it called? Say that again.
Trigon.
Trigon.
Oh, we lost Casey.
Oh, Casey disappeared real quick. Hopefully he's
in the back.
We'll keep going. Casey's down. Well, I think that's cool. We got to move on anyway. So I think like one of the things that'd be cool to talk about real quick too is some of the content we're going to be putting out just as a whole here, and how Bailey, you're kind of can jump in a little bit and assist in that. So maybe we talk a little bit about kind of the fly fishing beginner series we were looking at doing.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on starting here in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, it's kind of going to do Whip Finish Wednesday. I'll record it, and I'll also I plan on doing kind of a beginner thing before I before I go live on Instagram or whatever platform that I am on. I plan on recording a quick 10-minute video, 5-minute video, whatever dictates, on beginner fly fishing.
Yeah,
so then
cool.
Whenever I post, it'll be both of them will kind of piggyback off of each other. So, but yeah, starting in a few weeks, Whip Finish Wednesday is going to be a thing. So
that's cool. If you guys aren't following Bailey on Instagram, you totally should, right? Because I mean, you're going live. I don't know how many times a week. I mean, I see you on there often.
Yeah.
Stone. Way to hit it, Chad. Stonefly Outdoors on Instagram, right down
He's
there.
still paying attention.
That's some professional shit right there.
You pay more attention than we are when we're actually live. Yeah, if you guys aren't following Bailey, he gets on and ties live with guys all over the place. Goose and
every Monday.
Yeah, it's
my buddy Goose.
Yeah, we got a story for him one day.
Yeah, we got to get him on just for that story.
Yeah,
that's what I said to Papa the other night. You got to get him on just for that story.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on and follow Bailey and the guys, man. It's pretty cool because I've jumped on a few times and thrown out some questions. You guys will answer right on the fly. No pun intended. I've seen you guys. Something. Yeah, that was. Hey man, I'm a dad. I can use dad jokes now.
Yeah.
But they'll tie right there and then, right? I mean, you've had guys ask you to tie something from beginning to end, and you've done it.
I can't. One of the other three guys will. So
yeah, man, it's super cool. So make sure you guys follow them over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then I'm starting another series. Finally, actually doing it now that I have a good camera. There's a book that I suggest everybody buys. It's the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing. Every page there might be a paragraph or it might be a full page, but it goes through. It's like 5 or 6 sentences for most of them that, one of them that helped me more than anything on the water was, it's like, Papa, when you're fly fishing, so let's say you're fishing in a river, do you fish only behind a rock to try to catch a fish?
No.
Yeah. Always fish in front of the rocks too.
Yeah.
Always. Some of the times that's where the biggest fish is holding up.
Yeah.
So that's one of those little snippets from Little Red Book that when I was getting going, I was like, oh, well, hell, I didn't know that.
That one, and the reading water, a book about how to read the water.
Yep.
And the two game changers for me.
Yeah. So that's we're gonna do a series where I go through each little excerpt. I mean, there's literally gonna be like 190 something episodes.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, that'll get going here in the next few weeks to a month. probably closer to a month, just prepping for the tournament and everything. But yeah, and then just filming content while we're fishing. I'm gonna have my GoPro on during the competition. So
Sweet.
yeah,
I'm super stoked to get a couple of those flies when that tournament's over with. To try them out in these spots down here.
yeah, it's a killer.
Hell yeah.
I'm very excited I'm more excited about this pattern than I was for my my Stonefly pattern.
Nice.
Yeah. So
yeah, and y'all, Bailey's talking about sharing this stuff and posting this stuff whenever he's competing in these tournaments and his flies and stuff. So make sure that y'all are following Fish Lift Eat Official on Instagram, just because we'll make sure that we're sharing these in our stories and in reels and our posts and stuff, so that you can follow along with what he's doing, as well as at Stonefly Outdoors. But
no.
we'll make sure to to be complimenting that as well, and for everybody following us over there at Fish Lift Eat.
My little shameless plug too is
See what happens when you try to do a shameless plug.
Oh man.
No shameless plugs around here. The more shameful, the better.
we're all back.
There he is.
That was incredible, man. That was just incredible.
Shameful plug, Andy disappears.
Yep.
Look at check.
Screenshot that one.
Somebody screenshot that right there.
There it is. Chad, you drop it, man. Stonefly Outdoors
buddy.
on Instagram. That's his new profile pic.
Oh, for sure.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. There we go.
Wait till you see the picture of how your picture froze. Just
Oh,
That's
Oh,
classic.
no.
That's
It's
great.
your-
Perfect.
But speaking of, isn't there you got a fall drop on your end, huh?
Yeah.
yeah. We just released the fall drop over at huntlifteat.com.
Pull that up, Chad.
A
There it is.
lot of cool stuff there. Yeah, so as y'all can see right there, some new designs, some some designs that we brought back that were crowd favorites, like the deadlifting bear and
click on that.
things
Chad.
like that.
I can't tell
Yeah.
you how many times I got
Yeah.
cussed out for something I can't control over that goddamn deadlifting bear.
Everybody loves the deadlifting bear. So you're welcome. It's back. Make sure you go over to huntlifteat.com and get your deadlifting bear shirt, as well as anything else. Not gonna lie, my personal favorite is some of the new beanies over there.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I'm already our 2024 tournament schedule just released, and for those of you that don't know, that kicks off in January. And if it's anything like this year, it's going to be about 25 degrees at blast off. And, to Western people and Northern people, that's not that cold, but to Georgia, that's too damn cold. So, I got me a stash of beanies ready to go. Keep my little ears warm on the lake, for those early winter tournaments.
Hey, other shameless plug. We got some Fish Lift Eat gear up there too. So, buy some of the fall drop, but make sure you jump on over to the Fish Lift Eat stuff as well. Casey's got a nice hat on right there. I got that.
Get you the hat, and
Wilders.
he's rocking the Wilders bait and tackle hoodie. It's a
Not
crowd
wearing it, but
favorite.
I got the shirt right here. Look at that product placement. That's premium shit, buddy.
I like it, Papa.
But yeah, it's all you can find that Fish Lift Eat gear. It's all at the same place with the fall drop on huntlifteat.com. And then whenever you pick it up, I'll plug the Instagram again. Go follow us at Fish Lift Eat Official, and make sure you're sharing your adventures with us when you're rocking that Fish Lift Eat gear, so that we can get you shared on our page, and we can include you on this crazy ride that we're on, and
Absolutely.
and you can be tagged along for every bit of it.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
I like it. Well, hey, we're getting on at about 45 minutes here. I think about time we ask Bailey for his fish story. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah.
Let's have it, dude. What's the one end all beat all fish story you got?
We were fishing off the coast, off Calabash, North Carolina, and we've been catching red snapper and amberjack all damn day. I mean, my arms were tired. We were at 170 to 270 feet, Well, I had two snappers hooked on, and because we're dropping 2 or 3 hooks at a time, and the captain's like, "All right, everybody, start reeling in. We're gonna head back inshore." And it was a big, charter boat with probably 100 people fishing, and we were at the back of the boat, thankfully. And so he started going, and I'm so tired. I'm just reeling. The story happened before I could take my hand from here to here to flip the bail. I mean, on the the big crank, the ocean cranks. So I'm trolling in the Gulf Stream with about 150 foot, 100 foot of line with 2 red snappers on it that were probably 14, 18 inches apiece. And I see this shadow just come out of nowhere. And it took the first one and then snapped off, came back, grabbed the next one, got hooked. And before I could go from here to there to let the line run, it took off and snapped. And of course, the deckhands were like, dude, just start reeling. Oh my God, what is that? So they were just like, dude, you don't understand what you just lost. I'm like, well, what? And they were like, at least $1 million tuna. I'm like,
God almighty.
yep. They said that thing was easily in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So, yeah.
So, can you send me some GPS coordinates of where this was at?
Dude, it was off the coast of Calabash, North Carolina, right there in the Gulf.
Oh, that's crazy.
Didn't they set the record this year for the most expensive tuna again? Is it tuna every year that somebody spends
$1 million
astronomical amount of money on? Yeah, and this year was the they set the record for it.
Pretty much.
I never thought I'd say this, but I might be fishing for the wrong fish.
Yeah, you and tens of thousands of other people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's the problem.
It's like the first fish of the season or some crazy shit like that.
It was the first fish they caught that year.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's my fishing story.
Dude, do you know how many custom rods and reels you could have got with that?
I can tell you right now, I'm gonna be honest. I would have been fat and happy and probably fishing a lot less if I had done that. Yeah, because I was like 12, 13, 14 at the time.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
So that's my fishing story.
I feel like that's a solid finish up. What do you guys think?
I don't have anything to top that with.
Yeah.
It's one time I caught a brown trout. It was 8 inches long. That's all I got.
I caught this sweet little bluegill in a farm pond one time.
I don't catch shit.
$1 million tuna, fellas. $1 million tuna.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you want to wrap it, then fellas, it was great to meet you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you coming on, Bailey. And I think we all probably look forward to having you on kind of on the regular, man. Here, there, everywhere.
It's backwards. Yep. There we go.
Stonefly Outdoors on Instagram. Make sure you all get over there and follow them. More than worth your time.
Yep.
And Casey, your turn.
My turn. Yeah, so like Justin said, make sure you're following Stonefly Outdoors, but then while you're on the same app, head on over and follow Fish Lift Eat Official and follow along in the madness that we have. Keep up to date with what we're doing, podcasts coming out, and we're about to have a lot of other content on different platforms, so you're not going to want to miss out on that. Just so that to replug it, make sure that you're going and checking out the new fall drop at huntlifteat.com. Picking up that merch, and then while you're in there, go check out the Fish Lift Eat merch, and pick some of that up like we talked about. But as we're finally getting some feet under us now in this podcast, and we really appreciate all y'all that are coming over, and people that have followed us from when we were posting episodes on the Hunt Lift Eat official or the Hunt Lift Eat podcast. It really means a lot to us. We really appreciate you being over here, and be looking for us. This podcast will be coming out every Monday, and then possibly some more content behind that. later on down the road, we got some awesome guests lined up to be on here that you're not going to want to miss. But I want to say to all our listeners,
Bailey was one of them.
Bailey was the first. That's why we had him on here first.
You can only get back from here.
we gotta set the bar high so that everybody that we bring on from here is just that much better. But hopefully we even have some people on that Bailey's helping us hound too while they're on here. So
Yep.
We mentioned Chad. We appreciate everything Chad's doing back there.
Thanks, Chad.
Making us look good. You're killing it. But yeah, so for all of you, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We hope that to be able to get more involved with y'all in the future. So make sure that you're finding us on these outlets and get involved and let us know what you're doing. Let us see what you're doing. And but until then, just keep the lines wet, and we'll catch you on the next cast.
See y'all, everybody.
Later.